Hi everyone. So we're going to do a tribe reading. I haven't done one in a while. Our guidance has chosen the Queen of Swords and the Hermit card as our themes for this reading. The Queen of Swords is this particular combination is saying that your wisdom and intuition is paramount. You need to trust it. You need to understand that you have acquired incredible amount of wisdom. And so use that to guide you. Use your the wisdom that you've acquired up until now to guide you. And what's going to happen is there's going to be decisions, choices are going to come up, decisions you're going to have to make, whether someone approaches you with a creative project, someone comes to you wanting to partner with you in something. Maybe it's even making realizations that there are people in your life that really don't belong, quote unquote, in the sense that you have to recognize those who strip you of your energy and those that compliment you, and you need to start making choices about who's in a life and who's not, who should be and who shouldn't be. So the Queen of Swords, she is extremely wise. She's lived life. Her wisdom comes from having lived life. She's encountered everything you could possibly have encountered yourself. She has a way of looking through people and understanding their real motivations. And she has no second thoughts about using her intellect to make decisions and to make, it's kind of like slicing away what is not necessary or putting pen to paper on the things that she feels are going to move her forward. So this new year, you're going to find yourself in front of many situations where you're going to be cutting people away, making decisions about moving forward in creative projects, making decisions about dropping creative projects. So the word I want to use is courage. It's going to require the courage to make these decisions without thinking twice about it, because at the end of the day, if a plant has a part of it that is not healthy and you cut away that part, the plant thrives. And that's the whole idea. The moon in this reading is telling you that there's going to be a lot of dualities, that sometimes it's not going to be clear to you which side of the fence to stand on, if you're being asked to stand on one side or the other. And maybe that's the theme, that people are going to be asking you to make decisions. Yes or no, good or bad, right or wrong. Are you in, are you out? And use the Queen of Swords and the Hermit to make these decisions when these things come up. And the moon also is reminding you to use your intuition, that you're going to have a lot more insight, and you're going to be, that you should be guided by your intuition over your rational mind. Even though you need to use your rational mind, sometimes what you see, in other words, what's logical, what's in front of you, what seems obvious is not what's really obvious. Rely on your intuition. And the Knight of Wands is a reminder to all of us to stay in harmony and during this time of dualities. Stay in harmony in this time where you're putting down your burdens, which is the Ten of Wands. The Ace of Swords is saying there are new beginnings, so use the sword to cut away what's not, all the things that you're carrying that you no longer should be carrying. So drop some of the wands, put pen to paper. In other words, sign at the dotted line on the things that you know are going to move forward and that are part of your dharma and what you're doing in this life, what you're meant to do. And realize that harmony, meditation, inner silence, peace, staying out of the duality is really important at this time. The sun is telling us that we're going to be victorious. We're going to be victorious. We need to be patient. But everything that we do, that we love, that we feel a childlike wonder about, it's divinely guided for us. And that's where we're going to get our financial stability from. That's the Four of Coins. We're going to get our financial stability from doing the things that we love. And we're going to triumph by doing the things that we love. And if you're in a situation where you're not certain, if you're dealing with the moon and you're dealing with uncertainty, give yourself the ability to retire or step aside for a moment. Go into your inner silence. Go into the place where you know you can reach your higher self and your wisdom. This is reflected by the Eight of Cups. Take your time. You see how the moon is there. The moon is giving it. The moon is about dualities, and he's looking for truth. So in order for you to manifest the financial abundance and security that you're looking for, take your time. Try to stay out of duality, and also try to stay out of negative emotions, because if you are thinking positively, in a positive way, if you are using positivity to co-create in your life, then that's what the wand is there to tell you. You have the power of this Ace of Wands to actually manifest. But it's also reminding you, the Eight of Cups, that you can also manifest the negative things in life. So try to stay as much as you can in stillness. If you can't stay in positive emotions, try to stay in stillness. But use your creative thoughts to manifest. The Fool, again, is reminding you that this is a time for new beginnings. It's divinely guided. You have the tools to do it. You're going to go into it in also like this young abandon, like a youthful abandon of just stepping off the precipice, because you have everything you need. You have the confidence. And the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups is giving you because the Queen of Pentacles is like a Venus for me, and she's about creation. She's giving you all the energy you need to create, to have the creative ideas, epiphanies. She's all about beauty and abundance. And then the Queen of Cups is the joy you'll have in doing these things, to really have the certainty, the joy, the sovereignty to push forward with giving your projects, your ideas, whether, sometimes this could be about marriage, it could be about starting a family. There are many layers when we talk about creativity. There's nothing more beautiful, amazing than creating new life. There's nothing, there's beauty and happiness in a new child, a newborn baby. So this could also mean beginnings for those of us who are younger and still in that age that we're forming our families. And having the world at the end of this row, it's such a beautiful, it's saying that everything that's happening is going to happen because it's been divinely crafted by your highest part. That this is, there's no coincidences. Everything is decided and designed by your highest part. So it's a time of joy, really. And we have, sometimes I can't see the cards. Let me get a little closer. I believe it's a Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands, I'm sorry. So we have the Nine of Wands, and the Nine of Wands is saying that you can rest. It's telling you could take a moment to reflect, to rest from battling and trying to move forward, to stay focused on your craft, to watch the partnerships that you're coming into, the Three of Cups. It's going to be a time to celebrate, but watch the Four of Cups, because what the Four of Cups is saying is there's sometimes a part of us that feels the Nine of Wands and the Four of Cups is the feeling of being tired, being fed up, being stuck, being guarded, not even seeing the opportunities. Instead, you need to do the cards that are in the middle, which is the Eight of Pentacles, which is stay focused on your craft, keep improving what you're doing, keep bringing in new tools if you need to. And it's a time to come together. Look at who you're partnering with. Make sure you're in the right partnerships. To avoid this feeling of being stuck. You should be, if you're in the right partnerships and you're doing what your dharma, what your life purpose is, you're not going to feel that you're stuck or need to, or have made a mistake of some kind. And then the Eight of Swords, it's again a reminder. It's a reminder that we always have to watch our fears, what we're attached to. Watch your feelings of regret or resentment. All of these negative things, all the negative emotions, sorrow, sadness, we need to really let them go, because they're exactly what binds us and doesn't allow us to move forward. Sometimes our past makes us make decisions in the future that are not really in alignment where we need to go. So it's really important to forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward, because the universe is going to bring balance back. This is the Six of Pentacles. The balance is going to be financial. We're all moving towards financial stability. And the funds might come from an inheritance. It might come from an approval of a loan. It could come from simply whatever you've done up until now is going to become realized, and you're going to start to be able to really make money in whatever it is that you've been trying to do. If it hasn't been working for you yet, it will turn around for you. So I picked some cards out from the Goddess cards, but I just want to go back a second and just look basically at what the Waite cards, the Rider-Waite cards are saying. The Rider-Waite cards, just to sum them up, are saying use your wisdom and intuition to make the difficult decisions, have the courage to make the difficult decisions. Try to stay out of duality. Watch that part that tends to flip-flop. If you're not sure, take time, go into your inner silence. Doing what you love is the secret or the ingredient or the recipe towards financial security, for abundance, for beauty. There are a lot of new starts, new beginnings. There's victory. There is finally being able to do what you were meant to do when you came into this incarnation, and to watch the part of us that is negative, that's still holding on to resentment or sorrow, grief, regret. Because as soon as, and the way you do it is through meditation. You do it by maybe having that difficult conversation with someone that you've have certain feelings and you haven't really had that conversation, and that would clear a lot of things for you. Do the work to get on the other side of that, because there's a rebalancing with the Six of Pentacles, where we will start to have things start to work in our favor. So we have here the Goddess cards. I'm just trying to. Okay. So the first three is judgment, test of courage, and your own power. So judgment, again, is to leave in the past what belongs in the past. That's really important. It's probably the most important thing that you need to do right now, is to really be an observer of where you're stuck, where your energy is stuck, and do the good work of forgiving. And this is going to be time of courage. You're going to have a little bit of a inner battle about some of the decisions you have to make, but trust in your own power, the Two of Wands. Trust that you have what it takes to know what to do, what direction to go in, who to go with, who not to go with, what to drop, what to keep, what to start. Then we have, sometimes the guidance wants to give us a little history. So there is an unexpected revelation, the Hangman, and pause and observation. And I know that I've been through that, right? I had my Tower moment where I found out something that was devastating. And as I went through that whole process that I'm sure at some level I chose to go through that experience, I felt that my life went into suspense. While I was integrating on the aftermath of everything that happened to me, in that time that I was suspended and waiting, I really was able to pause and observe and gain a lot of wisdom. A lot of the wisdom that I gained was about bondage, which is the next one, was realizing how most of every situation that I found myself in where I felt trapped or wasn't in alignment with who I was self-inflicted. I put myself in those situations because of fear, because of insecurities, but because of not really facing who I was and understanding what it is that I really needed. And bondage is all about not making decisions out of fear. And that's probably one of the most, if I were to give anyone advice, that would be it. Don't make any choices in your life based on fear. Because when you do, what you do is you really trap yourself. And again, the Ten of Wands, put down your burden. Make sure that part of the bondage is taking on things that don't belong to you. So put down your burden. You also have the Nine of Swords, which is something that a lot of us are going to be experiencing, a lot of anxiety. There's going to be a lot of movement. We're going to be reminded, pushed. Things are going to be brought to the surface, the things that we need to let go of. And sometimes these are not easy decisions. That's why the test of courage is here. That's why it's saying that you have the power, trust your intuition, make the tough choices. But that's going to cause a certain degree of anxiety. And all I could say is meditate, meditate, meditate. Then we have the Four of Wands. You're going to start to see things, situations turn in your favor. You're going to recharge with new hope. It's going to lead you towards fertility, sensuality, the Empress. And again, this is the Venus again. She's pregnant with creativity. It could be an actual pregnancy. It could be that there was already the birth of a new child. this could be about creative projects. It's about beauty, creativity, love, abundance. And then the star is saying that everything that's happening, this is happening. This whole process that we're going through to eliminate the old and to come into a new cycle of positivity. It's divinely guided. It's been designed specifically by you, by your higher self. It's a blueprint that's finally able to manifest itself in this dimension. And then once again, we have the Six of Pentacles, which is telling you that unexpected help is going to come. There's going to be, the help could be just the universe trying to right a wrong. It could come from a gift. It could come from a loan being approved, a grant being approved. And then the Two of Coins is just reminding you that always, always is important to be cautious how you spend your money. It's okay once in a while to celebrate, but there's so much that we can do not to be wasteful, to really understand your balance sheet, what you're buying, why you're buying it, and whether you have the capability of buying things. Let's just be smart about it. And that's all it's about cash flow, being smart about our cash flow. And let me see. So recapping the Goddess is very similar to the Rider-Waite reading. It's about courage. It's about trusting your intuition. What it adds to the reading is to stay away from the things that making decisions out of fear. I think that's really important. And if you don't know the answer to something, step aside, take your time, don't rush into it. So in the Joanna cards, I have two. I have Spark and Intuition, and I have Love. I'm going to read them both. Spark and Intuition. All of us have the power to see intuitively, but most of us do not cultivate this skill. Do not discount your intuition, for it is a connection to something vast and greater than ourselves. How many times have you regretted not listening to your intuition? Advice. A sudden flash of insight is your spark. Trust your intuition and develop it. And the second card is called Love. Self-love comes first, not last. From here, all other love can flow. Are you putting yourself first instead of last? This is not about selfishness, but about self-care. What is needed for you to experience self-love every day? It's actually a question. What is needed for you to experience self-love every day? Advice. Explore, identify, and define your basic needs of love, then act on it. Okay, so that's the reading. Hope this helps you, gives you some insights into what's coming up and around the corner. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And sending a lot of love to everyone. Love, love, love.